So if you weren't aware, Subnautica 2 was delayed to 2026, which led to a bunch of articles, including one from Jason Schreier, that Subnautica 2 was delayed ahead of a $250 million payout to the developers at Unknown Worlds. There was also some news that the CEO and founders of the company Unknown Worlds had been departing the company. This happened, I think, a week ago, and there really wasn't any reason as to why this was happening. The CEO of the company is Ted Gill, and the co-founders are Charlie Cleveland and Max McGuire. There was also some issues with them even accusing Krafton, the publisher, of delaying it so that they wouldn't have to pay this $250 million payout, which led to a slew of drama for the company. I mean, basically, Krafton is being sued by the CEO and co-founders of Unknown Worlds, basically suing them for breach of contract because they thought they were going to get paid this money, which actually has led to a bunch of really interesting articles coming out and different information coming about the development of the game. Krafton has even put out certain things saying that the game was missing a lot of elements. There's one statement they put out saying, compared to the originally planned EA launch specifications, the current target volume has been reduced or adjusted across various elements such as biomes, creatures, equipment, and progression and features. Due to the gap between the current state and the content volume assessed during the initial launch planning, it's necessary to reassess the release timeline and roadmap. This came out after there were some articles stating that that was why they wanted to delay the game. It wasn't for the payout, it was because there was shit missing from the game. Krafton even came out to say why they decided to depart with the leadership for Unknown Worlds, saying basically putting it clear cut for us that really the leadership for the game wasn't around. They put out a statement to PC Gamer, I believe. Krafton deeply values Subnautica's unique creativity and immersive world building to provide fans with even better gaming experiences. We acquired Unknown Worlds, fully committed to supporting Subnautica's future success. We collaborated closely with the studio's leadership, who were central to the creation of the original Subnautica, to foster the optimal environment for a successful Subnautica 2, which I think is really great. Specifically, in addition to the initial $500 million purchase price, we allocated approximately 90% of the up to $250 million earnout compensation to the three former executives. Most of that payout was going to go to the executives anyways. Only 10% of that was going to go to the developers working underneath them, with the expectation that they would demonstrate leadership and active development in the development of Subnautica 2. However, regrettably, the former leadership abandoned the responsibilities entrusted to them. Subnautica 2 was originally planned for an early access launch in early 2024, but the timeline has since been delayed significantly. Krafton made multiple requests to Charlie and Max to resume their roles as game director and technical director respectively, but both declined to do so. In particular, following the failure of Moonbreaker, Krafton asked Charlie to devote himself to development of Subnautica 2. However, instead of participating in game development, he chose to focus on a personal film project. Krafton believes the absence of core leadership has resulted in repeated confusion in direction and significant delays in the overall project schedule. The current early access version also falls short in terms of content volume. We are deeply disappointed by the former leadership's conduct, and above all, we feel a profound sense of betrayal by their failure to honor the trust placed in them by our fans. So Krafton's straight up out here giving us the tea that the CEO and all them, they weren't even doing their part. They were out doing their own shit, not focusing on the game development. The statement from one of the CEOs from the company said, suing a multi-billion-dollar company in a painful, public, and possibly protracted way was certainly not on my bucket list, but this needs to be made right. Subnautica has been my life's work, and I would never willingly abandon it or the amazing team that has poured their hearts into it. So there's probably a lot of confusion here about who's in the right or wrong, in my opinion, but I gotta be straight up with you. Krafton's giving us a lot of tea. And they got documentation that seemingly backs up what they're trying to say here, that intentions were good. And I don't want to say that they're fully in the right here. Obviously, they're not going to have to pay out this $250 million. But if most of that was going to the three people at the top of Unknown Worlds, like that's a lot of money for three people to split up. You think it would be split up a little bit more. Obviously, everybody over there at Unknown Worlds wanted this game to come out when it was originally planned to release, so having the delay is probably pissed off a few of the developers as well. Let me know what you guys think, though. That's pretty much everything that's going on with the drama here for Subnautica 2. We'll see when the game actually launches and if any more drama comes out of this. I personally don't think that this case against Krafton for that breach of contract is going to do a whole lot, because it does sound like they had legitimate reasons to basically be like, all right guys, you need to peace out. So let me know what you think. Peace.